As you may have heard from Ryler DeHart at the end of that men's semifinal interview, he said, happy anniversary. Ryler DeHart married to Megan Fudge, hoping to have a happy weekend. Is Fudge in line for a potential triple crown should she and Susanna Barr make it into the women's doubles gold medal match? There's a look at Susanna Barr in the blue pants and the white top. Barr, 11 gold medals on tour last year. That was the 4th most of any player. Barr, 46 years old, out of Boise, Idaho, got into playing pickleball to play alongside her son, Preston.
Porter.
What? Porter, that's right. I said Preston. Sorry, Porter. I knew that, too, because I asked her if Porter was here in Miami. Listen, we've been talking for a long time. All the names go and come. Mari Humberg, 4 total APP medals, won. Humberg, a Brazilian native, played her tennis at the University of Louisville, where she now calls home. And Alex Truong, 19 years old, out of Falls Church, Virginia. 11 medals on tour last year. And once again, these two teams, they met to play for the bronze medal in Sacramento. That was a match that Barr and Fudge took in 2 games. And Chad, we saw with Barr and Fudge in that quarterfinal match, they just forced their opponents to hit one more ball, and they frustrated Truong and Humberg with that in Sacramento.
Yeah, and that's where it's going to come down to here. It's how patient Humberg and Truong can be. Specifically, Mari Humberg likes that reach-in, speed up, that quick flick, but sometimes it's not always there. And that one just a little too big there from Alex Truong. She's strong on that two-hander, but has a tendency to get a little too big with the take-back to try to add some more power to it. And Fudge and Barr aren't a team that you can give away too many errors to.
Speed up catches the tape, a point for Fudge and Barr. Truong did have some success against Barr and Fudge, playing alongside Vivian Glausman towards the end of last year. Missed 3rd.
That one just rushed a little bit there by Fudge.
1-0-2.
Humberg stepping in for the speed up, but can't make it happen.
Yeah, and Humberg's going to step over and be aggressive with those rolls, but right there, as we saw, just brushes up the back of it a little too quickly. Didn't get enough extension. That one's in.
Well in. Great defense from Truong, but Fudge and Barr all over it.
Yeah, and you know, it's tough for Truong coming over there. Humberg got pulled all the way off the court. Truong comes over, and it's almost like she needs to finish that point there, because as we saw, Fudge and Barr getting that back in, and both players are out of position now.
Just long, 4 straight points for Fudge and Barr to start game 1 here of our first of 2 women's semifinals.
Out.
The sorry, I'm not sorry hand up.
Yep.
Gets Humberg and Truong back on serve.
0-4-1.
And that was a decent drop there from Humberg. Yes, it landed in the kitchen and sat up a little bit, but she hung back at the baseline there, which made it a little bit easier on the 4th and 6th shots there for Megan Fudge to really apply some pressure.
Susanna Barr switch hands.
Yeah, she went to the lefty. You see the brace that's on the right elbow there. It's a little bit difficult for her to get on that two-hand backhand that's higher, because she has to flick the wrist to bring that ball down. That's where the pain is coming, in that elbow.
Listen, I was just impressed with the athleticism to ambidextrous in the middle of a point.
Well, she had a couple of left-handed overheads yesterday in mixed doubles off the offensive lob from Millie Rain.
Those balls were a little slower and higher.
5-0-1.
5-0-1. Big put away from Mari Humberg.
Well, that's one thing Mari Humberg has in her bag of tricks for sure, is the strong overhead. And
another one.
And that was set up by the sharper angle backhand roll.
Humberg, another player playing in front of parents as we take another look at that last point. Humberg's mom, Tanya, in from Brazil. She's been here for the last month here in Miami watching her daughter play. That one sails long.
So again, Truong getting just a little too big on the backhand. Needs to shorten that counter up.
0-5-2. Side out.
I was watching Mari Humberg play singles the other day. She got frustrated. She was speaking Portuguese to her mom.
5-0-1.
Mari Humberg speaks 3 different languages: Spanish, Portuguese, English is actually her 3rd language.
As most Brazilians do, because Brazil is the only country in South America that's speaking Portuguese. Everybody else
I feel
around,
like I'm back in school.
Everybody else around speaks Spanish.
6-0-1.
You come for the pickleball, stay for the education. Nice put away there from Truong.
Well, part of the reason I know that too is with my wife,
Right.
Simone Judging, being
right. Do you
Brazilian.
speak any Portuguese?
Yeah, it took me 16 years just to understand it.
They didn't answer my question.
I can speak it, but
Okay.
I really, if I'm forced to. But no, same thing. Her first language is Portuguese, second Spanish, English was third.
0-6-1.
Multi-talented, multi-sports, multi-languages. I would love to say that's the same for me. It's not.
I mean, if you ask most people, I struggle to speak English too. So.
Dom and I have told you that once or twice. As Truong and Humberg finally get on the board here in game number 1.
1-6-1.
His 3rd.
1-6-2.
A good combination there for Fudge and Barr. Fudge taking that backhand cross body on Humberg.
6-1-1.
Gets behind it, creates the pop-up. Bar's there to put that ball down at the feet of Truong.
This drive from Fudge. She and Barr had an easy run through the quarterfinals, 1-1. First match, a little tighter. They took down Daria Walczak and Krista Getcheva 8-6. As Truong misses there, another point for the top seeds.
Well, it's certainly not the start that Humberg and Truong were looking for. A couple of errors creeping in, some backswings that are a little too big, and like I said at the beginning, Barr and Fudge are not a team that you can really give too many errors to. They're going to make you play, they're going to make you hit a lot of balls, and if those errors start creeping in, then that deficit keeps growing and growing.
Well, currently that deficit sitting at 6 as Humberg and Truong take a timeout, trailing 7-1 in game number 1. You talk about Humberg and Truong making errors. They need to play a little bit cleaner. You talk about the size of their swings. What is the first thing that they need to address? I know you're going to say clean it up.
Well, it was going to be clean up, but the first thing to address is just be a little bit more patient and to shorten the swings up. Really, start to move that ball around a little bit. Find the feet, put a little bit more pressure on Barr and Fudge and try to push them back away from the kitchen line, and then you're going to get your opportunities to speed balls up.
It does feel like a lot of balls so far in game number 1 have been elevated for easy putaways.
Well, the 2 matches that we've seen from Barr and Fudge here is that they haven't been under any pressure. Right there, you're not seeing them having to scramble or force their movement.
7-1.
7-1-2, recall the score. Humberg trying to reach in It's another point for Barr and Fudge.
In reality, that's an unforced error right there. There's not a whole lot of pressure on it. It wasn't something that Humberg couldn't handle.
Nice step over from Barr. They have looked dialed in since the moment they stepped on court today.
Well, they're keeping everything simple right now, too. Barr and Fudge aren't going for any crazy shots, and they're not going for unnecessary speed-ups or really trying to create anything. Then just playing simple pickleball, keeping it nice and easy.
As Humberg cuts it too fine. A lot of people may call that boring pickleball, but it's also winning pickleball.
Oh, 100% it's winning pickleball. And yes, a lot of spectators want to come out and they want to see, the drives and the fast hands. It's a good change of direction there from Truong. Going behind Barr on the forehand side, but that type of pickleball is high risk. You have to be okay with missing a few, making a few errors, but when you're playing against a team like Barr and Fudge, you can't really give away those errors. Better adjustment with the roll there from Humberg, just catches it inside the baseline, but this time gets the paddle underneath it, accelerates all the way through the shot.
Sails long, second serve coming.
Now that's a very tough ball to speed up there with a flick. Your feet are still moving. You don't have the solid base.
And a missed serve as Truong trying to go big. Brings up game point number 2. Fans want to see drives. What they'll see is Megan Fudge and Susanna Barr taking game number 1, 11-2. They are one game away from punching their ticket to Championship Sunday. We'll have that when we come back here on Championship Court at the Chase APP Miami Pickleball Open.
No, since I've been using Leo Rubber, I've had way less problem on my AT band and hips. It has been really a game changer for me, so I highly recommend it to everyone.
That's what makes it so different. The whole idea about balanced compression, it improves your blood flow, reduces your fatigue. At the end of the day, you feel so much better.
I feel comfortable, I feel supported, I feel like I can train harder, train longer, recover faster, and feel supported while I'm playing. And that's so crucial for me, especially in singles when I'm trying to play against the youngest. I'm not the youngest out there, but I try and play against the youngest.
18 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped, suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
The BioFreeze USA Pickleball National Championships, November 10th through the 17th in Mesa, Arizona. Designed for pickleball's best, amateurs and pros alike. 14 tournaments, 14 opportunities. Find your golden ticket tournament. Earn your title.
Megan Fudge and Susanna Barr taking game 1, 11-2 here in this women's semifinal. And it was really all Barr and Fudge from the beginning.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Barr and Fudge are going to make you pay for the errors that creep into your game. They stay so clean, so consistent.
Consistency, the name of the game for Barr and Fudge. Had a lot of success on tour last year as well as double partners, as we are playing on here on Championship Court. Nice defense from Humberg, and Truong capitalizes.
Yeah, and that's a much better finish there from Truong. She stays short with the backhand, sneaks it straight down the line behind Fudge.
0-0-1.
Just long.
Second serve.
Humberg and Truong coming into the semifinal, they have only given up 13 total points. They won their first match 3-3 before beating Bobby Oshiro and Kelsey Grambo 3-4.
And that's the spot to play Susanna Barr right there, is to go at that left foot. It takes away her ability to really pull you out wide with that good forehand dink. And all she can do is kind of just bump that two-hand backhand.
0-1-1.
Quick side out.
Lena.
Oh! Oh, Humberg not able to make the pickup, but the tweener was pretty.
Yeah, that's the go-to get from Ari Humberg on an offensive lob over the shoulder.
1-1-1.
Well, Fudge throwing in the lobs, though. Typically, we talk about that in terms of Susanna Barr's game, but it's been Fudge so far throwing up the lobs here.
Well, you know, it has a tendency to rub off.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Second serve.
Good finish there from Humberg. Another strong overhead with good angle. Good spot there from Humberg, but I like the movement in the middle of that point from by Truong and Humberg. Truong slid to the right, ball went on her backhand side, but let it go knowing that Humberg was going to be there with the forehand and then attack the next backhand. And got caught for the push-off.
It's the second time in 2 matches that we've seen a player called for a foot fault trying to push off to get the over.
Well, what happens is, just out of habit, you take a step forward with that left foot, goes on the line, then you open the hips on the right. What we need to try to do there is, and it's easier said than done, when the lob goes up, just open the hips like you're dropping back for a fly ball.
Over the glove shoulder.
Yep.
Side out.
Just wide, side out. Truong and Humberg earning a 4 seed in this tournament. This is a pairing, Chad, that as the season progresses, if they stay together, could pose some problems for a lot of teams on tour.
Absolutely. Both possess power, and both Humberg and Truong have their strengths. Humberg's being that roll, Truong's being the two-hand backhand. But then when you put two aggressive and strong players together, it does take a little bit of time to get the understanding between the attack and movement between the two.
Truong stepping over, but missed it. We talked about that, or rather, I guess it caught the line. Yep, just inside the line. Another point for Humberg and Truong.
3-1-1.
3-1-1. A big finish there from Fudge.
That's a good spot there from Fudge on the overhead. Truong drops down into the defensive position, but watch how her hips are squared. She goes outside the right, Fudge goes outside the right foot. It's very hard for Truong to pick it up with that shovel block.
Get up, Susanna Barr.
Humberg asking Truong there if Barr had a push off, just like Humberg did.
1-3-1.
It's like, how'd she get back there that fast? Well, Barr already took a step back away from the kitchen line before Humberg hit that ball. That ball's just deep.
Point.
Fudge right on top of that to make the call.
2-3-1.
2-3-1 here in game number 2 after Barr and Fudge easily took game 1 11-2. Barr misses the drop.
Yeah, better pressure there. They took a little bit off of
2-3-2.
those shots and just focused on the roll, keeping that ball deep but not overhitting it where they'd been missing balls longer. Good patience there from Truong and good ball movement. Going a couple to the left foot of Barr, then pushing that ball behind Fudge. That's what they need to happen right here. They need to keep them off balance, and that's how, with that ball movement, you're able to take away the strength of Barr and Fudge.
Fudge backhand flick sails long. 4-2, Humberg and Truong. Truong stepping in, had the right idea, just missed it.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part with how good Barr and Fudge are on defense. The ball keeps coming back, so you keep going bigger and bigger.
Good placement there from Fudge. Instead of going bigger and bigger, do you want to go smaller or smaller, or just stay the same as you get closer? You want
to change level. So if you've hit 2 or 3 through and they're just blocking it back, then we're going to take a little bit off it and put it right at the feet.
Second serve.
Able to catch the line. Much better defense from Humberg and Truong in this set. Or this game, rather.
Good catch.
Yep. Recognized it as soon as I said it.
That was a me, and I think Mari Humberg hit that one. But good spots there from Alex Truong, right onto the right hip.
Side out.
Good deep ball there from Fudge at the feet of Humberg.
Stop play.
Still having some microphone issues.
Court.
It's 4-2-2. Oh, how about that top spin to drop it in?
Yeah, and a good reset there from Humberg to get them up to the kitchen line. But again, she drops that paddle head right underneath it. Where she gets in trouble is where she just comes behind the ball a little bit more and tries to flick there, then it flattens out.
Side out, but not before Truong and Humberg get one more. Their lead is 3 over the top seed here in game number 2.
2-5.
Barr can't make the pickup.
And a good change of pace there from Humberg. She'd rolled a couple with topspin to Fudge. And then as Fudge came forward, she just cut a backhand with heavy backspin. Barr wasn't able to pick it up.
Humberg finds some space in the middle for the winner.
Pulling strings right there, Mari Humberg. Now she's playing with a little bit more confidence, but the other thing is, too, she's not trying to overhit these rolls. She's focusing more on the creation of spin rather than power.
Truong misses the drive. You talk about spin, and when it comes to Mari Humberg, if you watch her play, she almost has that forehand slap cut.
Everything has spin. And that's how she played tennis, too. She would cut on both sides, and she does that here in pickleball. Heavy backspin, and then she has that strong wrist where she can really get underneath the ball, create the top spin on the rolls.
Is there another player on tour that has that level of extreme cut?
There's not really anybody else that uses it as much.
Truong into the net. Another point for Fudge and Barr.
Timeout, 3-5-1, 1 minute.
Truong and Humberg want to take a timeout as this game has been nip and tuck. What have Humberg and Truong done better here in game number 2?
Well, there's fewer errors for one. You know, they've had the opportunities to speed a few balls up, take some calculated risks with those flicks and speed ups, but they haven't tried to overhit them. They've just focused on really putting the pressure on, but not trying to do too much.
We mentioned Mari's mom. There she is. There's Tanya Humberg in the stands here in Miami. Has spent the better part of the last month with Mari. Has come here to watch her play all the way from Brazil. And especially, Chad, and you know this again from your wife, Simone Jorginho, when you're an international player and an international student, you oftentimes don't get to see your family very much. So to have them come with you when you're playing, it means something more. It's really special.
I mean, absolutely. But, you know, also for myself, I went 15 years
well,
without
also,
going.
yeah, you know this.
15 years without going back to Australia. You know, and I went there until I went back, it had been 8-9 years since I'd seen my sister. So, and Simone, the same thing between her two brothers. One lives in Spain with Padel, and then her other brother is in Brazil. So we're all over the globe, and yeah, they're big trips.
Simone's other brother that lives in Brazil, by the way, also phenomenal at pickleball without even trying.
Yeah, he'll be here at Delray Beach.
Playing mixed doubles?
Playing men's doubles with Jaime Onsens in the champions division.
Well, that'll be something to mark on the calendar for sure. Nice placement there from Humberg.
Yeah, when we introduced him to pickleball 7-8 years ago, he stepped on the court and he was a 5. I was like, I hate you.
Didn't have to work for it.
No. But he was nice spot there to finish. And a good job from Truong and Humberg trying to hold on. But, you know, Simone's brother was top 2 in the world in Padel for a number of years. So
just casually second best in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, Barr just missed the drive side out, but she and Fudge tie it at 5. We've had a lot of players that have been top 5 in the world, best in the world, and other racket sports infuse into pickleball and make an immediate impact. Men's player from Japan is here this week as Barr puts it away. Tops in the world
in soft tennis, spec tennis. You know, and that's where the crossover from multiple sports. Pickleball is already a mashup of multiple sports. So the crossover of those racket sports, one, you already know what it takes to get to the top and how competitive you have to be. I'm liking this from Humberg and Truong right now. They're keeping the pressure on.
No breathing room on either side of the court. Nice lob there from Barr. Truong just shaking her head. She knows it's coming.
No. Alex turned around and looked at me square in the eye and started laughing because I had a conversation with her in Sacramento that she needs to work on her overheads because she lets the ball get too far behind her. And she's like, all right, I'm going to work on it. She came to me this week and she said, I've been working on it. And then that one got back behind her.
Oh, Barr picked her spot perfectly.
And again, part of that right there, Truong steps over, and it's that do or die. You step over and you poach right there, you have to finish when your partner is out of position, otherwise you're both out of position.
Not only do you have to finish, but in that replay, you could see Humberg still standing. So both players on one side of the court. There was no one. And then another point for Barr and Fudge. There was no one, and it was a clear open court for Barr to finish.
Yeah. And again, that's part of the poach or the do or die there. It's a yes, step over and put the pressure on, but just know that both of you are out of position.
Nice
Good
ball
spot
there
there
from Humberg. Second server coming. This has been a protracted battle here in game number 2. Fudge and Barr finally on top, 7-6-2. Barr not able to reset, side out.
And a better job there from Truong on the elevated ball. Got that one out in front this time.
7-1.
Tied at 7.
Surprise Fudge there a little bit. She got a paddle to it, but the body was moving back. So as she extended, it took it down.
7-7-1.
Just outside the line as Humberg and Truong retake the lead.
And Fudge trying to sneak that one down the line past Humberg. Just pushed it a little wide.
That time, Fudge drops it in the court.
I think Humberg set that up well enough that she had that backhand there, but thought it was going to go a little bit wider.
Barr misses the return, and now Humberg and Truong 2 points away from sending this to a winner-take-all game 3. Fudge and Barr taking a timeout to talk it over.
Yeah, and a good timeout there just to slow the momentum, slow the roll of Humberg and Truong. Yeah. And again, it's been a good job from Humberg and Truong to stay consistent throughout this one. Yes, a couple of errors have snuck in. They've gone for a little too much. However, they've taken the pace off, focused more about moving the ball around and creating opportunities rather than trying to just hit into an opportunity.
Much more patience here from Truong and Humberg in game number 2. And I've been statting as we go along, and you can see the difference, Chad, as I look at you. You can see the difference in the service games. There have been so many more service sides in this game.
It's been much more back and forth in this one, where obviously game 1 was a little lopsided at 11-2. So kudos to Humberg and Truong for making their adjustment in this one.
Winner of this one moves into Championship Sunday. Our men's doubles final already set. It will be the duo of Dylan Frazier and J.W. Johnson taking on Will Howells and Ryler DeHart. Georgia Johnson and Millie Rain in the other women's semifinal, along with Judith Castillo and Ava Radikowska. That match coming up next here on Championship Court. Long.
That was a very loud out call.
It was Alex Truong. That ball is long. Game point at 10-7-2.
10-7.
That's a tough ball for Humberg to step over there.
Serve back over to Barr and Fudge. The door is open, if but a crack.
I'm not even. I know there was an A in there between the two words, but
there was. Humberg too big at the kitchen line.
This is where they have to be careful. They can't get too loose. They've developed the lead. They had their opportunity at game point. There's two.
Two quick points for Barr and Fudge. Humberg and Truong taking their second timeout, as now their lead is down to 1.
Yeah, and typically you're taking a timeout to slow momentum. This one, it's taking a timeout to reset yourself because they've gotten a little loose. They've made a couple of errors the last few points, and Barr and Fudge, you can't give that opportunity to.
No, when you have a top seed down, you have to put your foot to the floor and finish it, because good teams will make you pay. Ryler DeHart, husband of Megan Fudge, looking pretty calm for a match in which his wife and her partner down by 1 point. But DeHart's been there before. He's seen it all. They play tennis together at Illinois. They tour together with their kids, Lily and JR, who are becoming fantastic pickleball players in their own right early on.
Absolutely. Lily's already got her golden ticket through to nationals.
JR was up in the booth showing us his bronze medal in Sacramento. 9-10-1. Back to action here on Championship Court. Finally, third attempt, Humberg able to put it away, but the defense from Fudge.
Yeah, they're going to make you hit one more ball and get it back. It was good angles on both sides there.
Humberg over, hits it 10-all.
Pressure. Trying to do just a little too much on that one.
10-10-2.
Through the middle, forehand roll winner from Fudge, and now match point for the top seed.
11-10-2.
Barr puts it away. She and Fudge end on a 5-point run to take it in straight games. Their ticket punched to Championship Sunday. We will hear from the top seed when we come back here on Championship Court at the Chase APP Miami Pickleball Open on ESPN.
The Pro XR Pickleball Paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game, because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
Need to sell tickets for an event? From Sports Illustrated's official ticketing platform, introducing Box Office. Manage ticketing for sports, festivals, fundraisers, and more, paid or free. And we go beyond the barcode. Introducing Super Ticket. Super Tickets are secured by blockchain technology and transform into exclusive digital content, promotions, and rewards between the event and guests. Cheaper, better, simpler, more secure. Sports Illustrated Tickets. Partner with us for your next event.
The APP is sponsored by AARP, helping your health and happiness live as long as you do. USA Pickleball, official sanctioning body of the APP Tour. And Franklin X40, the official ball of the APP Tour.
We'll take a couple of looks at game 2 here for Susanna Barr and Megan Fudge. They faced a game point, but battled back to create the errors and put the pressure on. And it's Megan Fudge who is now going for a Triple Crown opportunity on Sunday. And we're going to throw it down to Dominic Catalano, who's courtside with our Franklin post-match interview.
All right, Megan, I'll start with you. Game 1, you guys were cruise control. You guys were dialed in. Drops were working. Drives were working. Game 2, they go out to a lead. What was the difference between Game 1 and Game 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think credit to them. They definitely stepped up. They changed their game plan a little bit. They were definitely super aggressive in that second game. We had to make some adjustments on our end, just coping with the pace. But love the mid-court adjustments from both of us. We dug deep and just fight another day. Yep.
And it seemed like you had that dialed in cross-court going, Susanna, with Alex cross-court, and it sets Megan up nicely. Was that your guys' game plan going in?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was planning to dink cross-court as much as I can and throw in some lobs here and there and let Megan do what she does. She hits the ball hard.
Well, the lobs were working. They were dialed in. You guys punching your ticket to yet another championship Sunday. Next semifinal in women's pro doubles coming up next here at the Chase APP Miami Pickleball Open.